Hello, and welcome back to Weekend Cartoon Reviews. This time, we're reviewing the Garfield Movie. The Garfield Movie released at the end of last month alongside another movie that dropped on Netflix called My Onigiri, which you should absolutely watch, by the way. It's very, very good. I know I haven't done a lot of Weekend Cartoon Reviews this year, but I have a lot of long-form review content coming soon. If you saw my community post, you'd see the list of things that I'm planning for. But yeah, without further ado, we're here today to talk about Garfield. So, what did I think of it overall? Keep watching and you'll find out. Now, I had absolutely no interest in seeing this movie, since, I'm gonna be real here, I've never been the biggest Garfield fan. In fact, I always found the cat to be boring. The only thing I had with Garfield growing up was the CGI cartoon that would come on Boomerang occasionally. It's Garfield, but I've seen critics bash the movie, while audiences seem to really enjoy it. So, where do I fall in this camp? For someone who's not a Garfield enjoyer, I thought the movie was pretty entertaining. It kept my attention the whole way through for something I thought would bore me. But no, Garfield did the unthinkable for me. It made me actually enjoy the movie the whole way through. Obviously, it has some flaws that I will get into during the review, but first, let's talk about what the movie's about. The movie follows Garfield, who has a grudge against his father, Vic, for abandoning him, which ends up being a misunderstanding and is taken in by John. Yeah, it starts with the origin story of Garfield and how he met John in the first place, trying to, capitalize on the babies trend that was going on, but honestly, too little too late there. But then in the present day, Garfield and Odie get kidnapped and taken to an abandoned mall where this deranged cat wants Vic and Garfield to work together to rob a cheese factory and get milk to pay off debt because she wants revenge on him for a heist gone wrong. Yeah, the movie's plot's a little cuckoo, little bonkers. Not gonna lie, but I didn't mind it. Throughout the movie, we get scenes of Garfield and Vic trying to interact and see eye to eye again as their relationship strengthens more and more during the heist. Eventually, the bond gets brought back together, and yeah, you probably know where this is going. Let's start with my positives first. The animation is very expressive. I can tell the team just had a ball with a lot of the animation on the characters in particular. It makes for some pretty funny moments. Story is pretty good, albeit probably bizarre. I personally don't believe you can ever make a truly perfect Garfield movie, but maybe that's just my spitefulness talking. But the other movies simply aren't good. And by spitefulness, I mean spitefulness toward this franchise. Just wanted to clear that up there. But this one is easily the best Garfield movie by a long shot, even though that's just not a high bar in my opinion. Another thing I loved is the bits with John. Anytime he was on screen, I thought it was hilarious, even though this leads into one thing I didn't like. John just feels like he's there for this one joke, and the movie will abruptly cut to it. It doesn't feel naturally placed in the movie, despite it also being pretty funny. There are multiple other plots going on in the movie, but most of them feel naturally placed into the film, rather than haphazardly thrown together to pad out the runtime. Nothing felt like it was dragging out or anything, or overstayed its welcome. The climax was also pretty fun. I say if you take in a lot of the strange turns this movie has and embrace the chaos, then you'll simply have a fun time with the movie. If you're tired of cliches and predictability, it won't get on your nerves here, but it does some of the usual animated movie stuff. It does subvert some tropes here, which I appreciated, because it was honestly obvious that at one point Vic was going to abandon Garfield again, but the way they do it isn't what you'd expect for a movie like this. Also, I want to talk about the villains of the movie. They aren't very funny or entertaining, and the film has a lack of tension because of it. This is also because the villain doesn't have much of a presence until the third act of the movie. Maybe if she showed up more, I'd like the movie more, but really her only good scene is her first scene. She's the weakest part of the climax, in my opinion. There's a whole scene where she's on social media posting about her doing bad guy things, and I just rolled my eyes at that. It may sound like I'm talking a lot of shit about this movie for one I claim to enjoy, and yeah, it has its flaws, but I overall had an entertaining time watching it. If they improved upon these things more, I probably would have had a more pleasant time. I'm not asking for a perfect movie, of course, but I don't understand the people who've said this movie outright sucks. However, overall, I enjoyed it, and I'm sure Garfield fans will too. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in the next review. Bye everyone, and have a great day.